Welcome to Time to Listen English Channel, your ultimate path to English fluency.
Hello everyone, welcome to Time to Listen English Channel, where you can relax, enjoy real conversations, and improve your English in a natural and comfortable way.
This is the kind of place where you can listen to everyday English, pick up useful expressions, and build confidence without feeling like you're sitting in a classroom.
I'm James, currently holding a coffee that's probably stronger than my decision-making skills.
And I'm Eva, wondering why coffee somehow tastes better when someone else makes it.
That's one of those mysteries nobody has solved yet.
Anyway, how have you been lately, James?
Pretty good, although I've been thinking a lot about learning new skills recently.
Oh, that sounds dangerous because once you start thinking about self-improvement, you usually end up buying books you never finish.
That's a surprisingly accurate observation.
I know you too well.
And before we get into today's topic, don't forget to follow or subscribe if you'd like more English listening practice like this.
We love creating relaxed conversations that help you improve your English little by little every day.
Here's something to think about while you're listening. What's one thing you've wanted to start doing for a long time but haven't started yet?
Maybe it's speaking English more often, starting a hobby, or trying something that feels a little uncomfortable.
Sometimes the hardest part isn't learning the skill itself.
It's waiting for the perfect moment that never seems to arrive.
Honestly, I've done that more times than I'd like to admit.
Same here, especially when it came to speaking English years ago.
Really? That's actually a perfect example.
Yeah, because today's conversation is all about one simple idea. Stop waiting, start speaking.
So, when you said you kept waiting to speak English, what exactly were you waiting for?
Honestly, I was waiting to become fluent before speaking, which makes absolutely no sense now.
That's like waiting to become fit before going to the gym.
Exactly, but somehow it sounded logical in my head at the time.
I think a lot of people do that because they're afraid of making mistakes.
Oh, totally. And I wasn't just afraid of mistakes, I was afraid of sounding awkward.
Which is funny because sounding awkward is part of learning almost anything.
Tell that to my younger self because she was determined to avoid embarrassment at all costs.
Did you actually avoid speaking for a long time?
Sighing, longer than I should have, and every month I kept telling myself I'd start next month.
Understanding. That's a dangerous habit because next month keeps moving.
Exactly, and meanwhile, I spent hours watching videos about learning English instead of actually speaking it.
Laughing. So you were learning how to learn instead of learning.
Mock offended. Hey, those are completely different things.
Are they really?
Laughing. All right, maybe not.
You know, I had a similar experience when I wanted to learn public speaking.
Interested. Let me guess, you spent more time preparing than actually speaking.
Embarrassed. Way more time. And looking back, most of that preparation was just fear wearing a disguise.
That's actually a really good way to describe what stops so many people from starting.
Fear wearing a disguise can be surprisingly convincing because it often sounds responsible and reasonable.
Exactly. It tells you things like, just study a little more first, or wait until you're ready.
And somehow, a little more turns into 6 months.
Or a year if you're particularly talented at procrastination.
The strange thing is that nobody ever feels completely ready.
That's true. And every confident speaker I've met still makes mistakes sometimes.
Curious, was there a moment when you finally stopped waiting?
Yeah, and it wasn't some dramatic breakthrough like I expected.
Now I'm curious.
Smiling, I was in an online language exchange, and honestly, I almost left before saying anything.
Amused. That sounds stressful already.
Laughing, it was, and my heart was beating ridiculously fast for such a simple conversation.
Understanding. I know that feeling.
Thinking, then someone asked me a basic question, and before I could overthink it, I answered.
Curious. And what happened?
Shrugging, nothing dramatic, nobody laughed, nobody judged me, and the conversation just continued.
Reflective. That's often how it goes, but our imagination usually predicts disaster.
Nodding, exactly. And after that day, I realized the scary version only existed in my head.
Thoughtful. It's amazing how much time people lose preparing for problems that never actually happen.
Smiling, and that's when I started wondering how many opportunities I had missed because I kept waiting.
That's a tough realization because once you notice it, you start remembering all the times you held yourself back.
Exactly, and some of those memories are honestly a little painful.
Do you have a specific one in mind?
Oh, definitely, and I'm not particularly proud of it.
And those are usually the best stories.
Well, a few years ago, I attended an event where people were speaking English casually.
Sounds like a good opportunity.
It was, but I spent almost the entire event standing there silently.
Seriously?
Yeah, I kept waiting for the perfect moment to join a conversation.
Let me guess, the perfect moment never arrived?
Exactly. And before I knew it, people were leaving and the event was over.
That's frustrating because you were physically there but still missed the experience.
That's what bothered me most afterward.
What did you tell yourself on the way home?
Honestly, I kept making excuses, saying I needed more vocabulary or more confidence.
But deep down, you knew that wasn't the real problem.
Right. The real problem was that I was waiting for confidence to arrive before taking action.
Which is funny because confidence usually arrives after action, not before it.
That lesson took me way longer to learn than I'd like to admit.
You know, that's probably the biggest misunderstanding people have about confidence.
You mean the idea that confident people feel ready all the time?
Exactly, because most confident people I've met were nervous before they started something.
That's true, and I remember being shocked when a fluent English speaker admitted they still felt nervous sometimes.
I think people assume fluency removes every uncomfortable feeling.
Meanwhile, fluent speakers are out there forgetting words and making mistakes just like everyone else.
Do you remember your first really long conversation in English?
Oh, I do, and it was a complete mess.
Now we're getting to the good part.
I kept mixing up words, losing my train of thought, and speaking way too slowly.
Honestly, that sounds pretty normal.
It does now, but at the time I felt like I was failing every 30 seconds.
Told that other person seem bothered?
Not at all, which surprised me more than anything.
That's because we're usually much harsher on ourselves than other people are.
Exactly, and after that conversation, I realized people cared more about communication than perfection.
That's such an important shift in mindset.
Yeah, because once I stopped trying to sound perfect, speaking became a lot more enjoyable.
Was that the moment you started improving faster?
Honestly, yes, because I finally stopped waiting and started practicing in real situations.
That's interesting because people often search for some secret method when the real answer is usually more practice.
I know, and I used to be one of those people looking for magical shortcuts.
Let me guess, you watch videos with titles like Become Fluent in 30 Days.
Unfortunately, yes, and I clicked on every single one of them.
I had a feeling.
The funny thing is that those videos made me feel productive even when I wasn't actually speaking.
That's a trap a lot of people fall into.
Exactly, because learning about speaking feels safer than actually speaking.
Safer in what way?
Well, if you're just studying, nobody can hear your mistakes.
So there's no risk of embarrassment.
Right, but there's also very little growth if that's all you do.
Growth usually happens in those uncomfortable moments we'd rather avoid.
Which is annoying because I would prefer growth to happen while sitting comfortably with coffee.
Honestly, I think most people would.
You know, I once challenged myself to speak English for just 5 minutes a day.
Only 5 minutes?
Yeah, because every time I set huge goals, I ended up doing nothing.
That's actually smart because starting small removes a lot of pressure.
And surprisingly, those little 5-minute conversations started changing how I saw myself as a speaker.
That's interesting because changing how you see yourself might be even more important than improving your vocabulary.
Honestly, I think it was, because for years I kept telling myself I wasn't the kind of person who could speak English confidently.
And once you repeat that story enough times, it starts feeling like a fact.
Exactly, even though it was really just an opinion I had about myself.
I think we all do that in different areas of life.
Oh, totally. I once convinced myself I was terrible at cooking after ruining one pasta dish.
One pasta dish? That's not exactly a large sample size.
Tell that to the dramatic version of me from a few years ago.
You know, the same thing happens with speaking English.
What do you mean?
Someone makes a few mistakes during a conversation and suddenly decides they're bad at English.
That's true, and then they avoid speaking, which makes improvement even slower.
It becomes a cycle that's hard to break.
The weird part is that nobody expects a beginner guitarist to play perfectly.
Yet somehow people expect themselves to speak a second language flawlessly.
Exactly. The standards become completely unrealistic.
Was there a point when you stopped caring so much about mistakes?
Not completely, but there was one conversation that changed my perspective quite a bit.
All right, now I want to hear that story.
Well, it started with one of the most embarrassing misunderstandings I've ever had in English.
Oh no, this already sounds promising.
Trust me, it didn't feel promising at the time.
All right, what happened?
I was talking to someone online and I accidentally used the wrong word in the middle of a conversation.
How wrong are we talking?
Let's just say I was trying to sound intelligent and achieved the exact opposite.
That's usually how those stories begin.
The moment I realized the mistake, I wanted to disappear from the conversation entirely.
I've definitely had moments like that.
But then something unexpected happened.
Let me guess, the other person didn't care nearly as much as you did.
Exactly. They laughed, corrected me politely, and then kept talking as if nothing happened.
Which completely ruined the disaster scenario your brain had prepared.
Yes, my brain had written an entire tragedy and nobody else even read the script.
That's such a perfect description.
Honestly, that experience taught me that most conversations are far more forgiving than we expect.
Nodding. People usually want to communicate, not judge.
Exactly. And once I realized that, speaking started feeling less like a test and more like a normal conversation.
That's a huge mental shift.
It was. And it also made me think about all the other things people postpone because they're afraid of looking foolish.
That's such a good point because this idea goes way beyond learning English.
Exactly. People delay starting businesses, hobbies, projects, and even friendships for similar reasons.
They're waiting for certainty in situations where certainty doesn't really exist.
Right. And sometimes the waiting becomes so comfortable that it turns into a habit.
That's the dangerous part because waiting feels productive when you're planning.
Oh, totally. I once spent weeks planning something that would have taken 10 minutes to actually start.
Let me guess, the planning spreadsheet was beautiful.
It was incredible and completely useless.
That's honestly impressive.
Looking back, I think I was using preparation to avoid uncertainty.
Which makes sense because uncertainty is uncomfortable.
The problem is that growth usually lives on the other side of that discomfort.
And the longer you avoid it, the bigger it seems.
Exactly. That's why speaking English felt terrifying before I started and surprisingly manageable afterward.
Reality is often much kinder than our imagination.
Most of the time, yes.
So if you could talk to the version of yourself who kept waiting, what would you say?
I'd tell her that confidence isn't a requirement for starting, it's usually a result of starting.
That's probably one of the most valuable lessons we've talked about today.
And honestly, it feels like the perfect thought to carry into the final part of this conversation.
You know, after everything we've talked about, I keep coming back to one simple idea.
Let me guess, it's not about finding the perfect method.
Exactly. It's about being willing to begin before you feel completely ready.
And honestly, that's harder than most people expect.
We spend so much time waiting for confidence, motivation, or certainty to arrive first.
Meanwhile, those things are often built through action rather than before it.
It's a little unfair when you think about it.
Very unfair, but apparently that's how growth works.
Whether it's speaking English, starting a project, or trying something new, the first step usually feels awkward.
And that's completely normal, even if social media sometimes makes it look otherwise.
The people who seemed confident today probably had plenty of uncomfortable beginnings too.
Exactly. We just don't get to see most of those early struggles.
So if you're listening and waiting for the perfect moment to speak English, maybe today is good enough.
And if today's conversation didn't go perfectly, that's okay too.
Progress usually comes from showing up again tomorrow, not from being perfect today.
Small conversations can become big improvements when you keep practicing.
We've really enjoyed spending this time with you and sharing our thoughts over coffee.
Thanks for listening, learning, and practicing English along with us today.
If you enjoy these natural English conversations, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss future episodes.
Take care, keep speaking, keep learning, and we'll see you again soon. Goodbye and have a wonderful day.